Got Your Back Podstream is brought to you by Mr. Dirk. From casual wear to suits and formals, Mr. Dirk helps you find the perfect fit with the right look for any occasion. Step up your wardrobe at mrdirk.com. Happy Tuesday night to you folks, and welcome to Got Your Back. YEG, Shaugger, Strudwick, and Brown. That is Rob Brown, by the way, who I can confirm eats insanely fast. So fast. Like someone's trying to take it away from him fast. Looking forward to the podcast tonight, season 4, episode number 2, presented by our good friends at Play Alberta. When you gamble, use your game sense. Play Alberta makes it easy to set deposit limits, time limits, and more so you can play casino games and bet on sports safely, securely, and responsibly as well. Everything you need to know is on their website. Check it out at playalberta.ca. We are coming at you from our Adrenaline Diesel studio tonight. If you need a part manufactured, replicated, or repaired, Adrenaline Diesel has you covered with their brand new machine shop. Got to check it out. Visit adrenalinediesel.ca. Looking forward to a good show. Rob Brown is here. Jason Strudwick is here. Chris Sabunia as well. A couple of topics we're going to hit on tonight. Viktor Arvidsson, what are expectations? How many points? Is he going to get power play time? What's his style of play going to bring? We'll dive into that conversation. And the Evan Bouchard Conundrum. Can re-sign this guy anytime. It's probably only going to get more and more expensive. So when is the right time to pull the trigger on a Bouchard deal? Brownie and Struds and I are going to break that all down. As we say,
hang on for a sec, Strud. You're muted here. Why are you muted, though? Let me get a different shot up here. Okay, go now. I'm going to get that back for you. You're unmuted now.
I'm unmuted?
Yeah.
Struddy, you got me? Brownie, you got me?
We can hear you now.
Good stuff. Brownie, so Struds, we're at a golf tournament, and Brownie and I are sitting at the table together, and we all go line up to get our food. And so, in fairness to him, he was the first one in the line, and he was the first one back to the table. I was second. I sit down at the table. Conversation starts. I take 5 bites of my food, and I look over at Rob Brown. His plate is cleared. Done. Like not a morsel left, completely gone. All the sauce mopped up with the bread. I look around the table. Everybody, there are people still putting their napkins in their laps. It was stunning, Brownie. Stunning.
I was hungry. I obviously didn't put as much food on as you piggies did. Oh no, I eat really, really fast. I do. Like my mom's husband, he's just on his second bite, and I'm usually done cleaning up the table. So yeah, I don't. When we were young, my mom guesses that when we were young, that we're always on our way to some sporting event, some team event, that we're always in a hurry eating, and I eat really, really fast. But yes, no, I was actually a little embarrassed after you pointed it out in front of all my peers today, and I did look around, and seriously, some of them really had not even started yet, and I was completely done. So, but it was delicious. I did enjoy it.
I'm guessing some of your former teammates wish you back-checked it with the same intensity as you ate your food.
There would probably be some coaches still employed in the National Hockey League if I back-checked a little bit more ferociously. Yes, Jason, you are correct.
Like ferocious consumption of food is the way I would describe what was happening next to me.
I can't deny it. It
Almost
was
desperate.
Yeah. There was a desperation. I wanted to get it in me because I want it hot when it's in me. It was really good, and I do eat really, really fast. I'm not apologize. I drink fast too. So if we go to a bar, you're going to be buying a lot because they go through me very, very quickly.
I think what you got to do is you got to gauge. So I always look. I don't want to be the first one done. So I'll look around. Like I'm happy to be second, but I don't want to be the first one done. So I slow it down, drink some water, maybe grab some bread. You know what I'm talking about, and then I slow it down.
I tried doing that too, but I still am the first one done. I got a couple of buddies. My buddy Clarky will not buy me a Starbucks coffee because it's wasted on me because I drink it too fast. Like they're on their second sip,
Jeez.
and I'm throwing my coffee in the garbage, the empty cup. I'm quick.
Hmm.
Well, you've seen me skate, Struds. You know I'm quick. I'm fast at everything.
Oh, yeah.
Fast.
Yeah. Do you digest fast as well? Like I can't imagine you feel great after eating that quickly.
I felt fantastic. I jogged home. I left my car at Glendale so I could run home.
My problem is I talk too much. I'm always the last one that finishes because I'm just sitting there yakking away, not eating.
Well, that's because you were trying to create turmoil with your political questions to the media table.
No, I wasn't.
Oh no.
I was.
Oh.
Okay, listen. We're not going to name names. We're naming no names. But all I will say is, somebody brought up U.S. politics. And I just for fun, I get, because I'm bored, I'm like, I got the sense that maybe somebody was supportive of, the Red Party. So I just pulled the pin on the grenade and threw it into the middle of the table and then just sat back and watched the mayhem ensue, Brownie.
It got heated. It did get heated. We had to take a timeout and go get our food. It was if there was a vote at the table, the Blue Party probably would have won the American election today. But the loudest person at the table was certainly a Red Party supporter.
We love everybody's
everybody's
right to have their own opinion.
Absolutely.
Hey, Brownie?
Just vote.
Yeah,
100%.
So, Struds, you're obviously crushed. You didn't come to the media golf tournament today, missing all this great conversation.
Yeah, well, I love talking about politics. Yeah, just right up my alley. I would have been gone. That's just, I don't know why. I just, it never ends well. Someone's always hurt. It's like, I'm not into it. I just move out.
Fun day today. Oilers, once a year at the start of the year, just before training camp, they have all the media members out. Team Brass is there out at the Glendale for second or third year in a row. They were fantastic hosts, but big thanks to the Oilers, hosted all of us media fellers today. So some terrible golf in my group today. And, but some, good time today. So we definitely enjoyed that. So thanks to them and to the folks out at the Glendale. Guys, let's get to talking a little bit of Edmonton Oilers, shall we? And some Evan Bouchard. Let's get to our breakdown, brought to you by Alberta Ram Dealers. The Ram Big Haul event is on now. Get up to $94.50 in discounts with a no-charge Cummins turbo diesel engine on 2024 Ram heavy duties. See your Ram dealer for more details. Happy to have Alberta Ram dealers on board with Got Your Back so far this year. We're going to get to training camp. Oilers medicals will be tomorrow, and then their first day on the ice will be the following day. So we'll get into dissecting a little bit more of that later in the week. And we'll talk a little bit of Viktor Arvidsson later in the podcast, guys. But Stan Bowman was there today, and I got through a big chunk of his to-do list in the summer here, guys. But you look at the things on his to-do list, the big important ones that are still sitting there. Evan Bouchard is an interesting one to me, guys. He can basically sign anytime. He's a restricted free agent at the end of the year, but he has arbitration rights. And so, Struds, to me, the conundrum is this. If you wait till the end of the season to sign Evan Bouchard, we can talk about all that he might be able to accomplish this year. What does that number look like if he has the year that some people feel he might be able to have versus what the number might be right this moment? And I will, for the sake to get this conversation started, suggest that it's probably $10 million. Probably right in that $10 million range in this moment. So, how soon do you engage? Do you wait? There's a bit of a needle they have to thread here, Struddy.
There was a time where I wanted to marry Elizabeth Hurley. And so that I was willing.
Clip that, Zuby. Clip that.
But so everyone knows, I never did, because she had to want to engage in it as well, and she never returned my calls, obviously. So we both found love and moved on. So it's the same with Evan Bouchard and the Oilers. The Oilers can just be in a situation where they want to sign Evan Bouchard, but if you're Evan Bouchard, unless they drop the RBC bank right in your front yard, why are you hurrying to sign after you're guessing you're going to have another monster season? That just inflates your numbers more. So if I'm Evan, unless they give me everything I want, which is a massive deal. I want, and we can talk about whether he wants term or not. I think it's another discussion, but I'm not signing an extension unless they kill it. They absolutely kill it because he's got him over a barrel right now. Absolutely over a barrel.
But Struds, is 10 million not killing it to a degree?
Well, could it be 10 and a half or 11? Let's say he has the same year. Let's say they have the same year and they go 3 rounds deep. Is that number going down? Is there any situation which Evan Bouchard doesn't get $10 million next year?
If he doesn't play a full season, has an off year, if there's an injury, if something,
Okay,
you
so
know,
let's go through those. Injury, does that, unless like a broken arm, does that change to 10 million? No.
well,
Total numbers. Is there a chance the power play drops from where it is to maybe 17%?
No.
So he's running that power play. I just don't see any chance his number isn't 10 million next year. So why am I signing it? The only other thing is risk. And we can talk about risk as far as injuries. How often do you see that happen? So Brownie, if I'm Evan, I'm like, this is my number, guys. This is it. Don't call me back unless you have faxing me the contract to sign.
I agree. I think that the Oilers would love to get a number and they'd love to have it under 10 million. They really will, because there's another kid that's due for a contract next July 1st that's probably going to want and deserve whatever he wants. It'll be a blank check. If you're Evan Bouchard, I'm betting on myself. If I'm his agent, I'm selling Evan Bouchard. Bet on yourself. You are part of a team that we believe is a Stanley Cup contending team. We believe offensively. I guess I'm speaking for you guys. I believe offensively, this is a better offensive team than they had last year.
I believe
it's the same. Yeah, it's the same power play unit that has been record breaking, and he is a huge part of that. He has an opportunity this year to score 20 to 25 goals, an opportunity to be 80 to 90 points. You know, take away Connor McDavid's numbers out of the playoffs. You're looking at Conn Smythe. Evan Bouchard would have got votes with the type of playoff he had. So if I'm Evan Bouchard, I'm betting on myself. And in all honesty, 10 million is the least amount of money I think Evan Bouchard is going to get.
So here's the thing, though, guys. How high could it go? Like, let's say Evan Bouchard runs that top unit power play all year long, you know, eclipses the 82 points that he had last season. I believe Evan Bouchard's going to get a look on the penalty kill this year, too. So now you've got a guy that's going to run the power play, probably see some penalty kill time. If he starts to defend even close to the way he did in the postseason last year, and I believe he took his game to a whole new level in a lot of ways, the way he defended, I mean, you piece all that together, and let's say the Oilers make the Stanley Cup final or, heaven forbid, win the thing again. Let's say Evan Bouchard is a key member of Team Canada at the Four Nations Cup. Like, the year that he is, setting up to have here, Struds, how high could this number potentially go if you sit there and wait? And then the follow-up to that is Evan Bouchard going to be in the headspace to squeeze every single penny out of the Edmonton Oilers that he possibly can? Because if he's willing to do a deal that's like a solid deal for him, but not maximizing it, kind of like Draisaitl just did, if they throw $80 million in front of you right now, how much more are you going to sign for if you wait?
So I don't have anyone dripping honey in my ear, so I don't know exactly what the coaching staff is thinking. But I would think it'd be a mistake to put Bouchard in the penalty kill. This is why. Chris Knobloch seems to want to give everyone a role. If Bouchard's number one power play and he's also penalty killing, which I'm guessing would be the number one penalty kill because of DRNA not being there anymore with Ekholm, he's eating a ton of minutes. And that means the guys further down the food chain. And we can discuss whether they deserve or not to have penalty killing time. We don't know because they haven't seen it yet. But I think it'd be a mistake if someone else can kill penalties to put Bouchard on there. Again, no one's dropping the honey in my ear. Second part, I think the thing we have to figure out is more than the money, Shaugger, before we do it, is what term does he want? Because he's going to be 25 basically when the season starts. So does he want to sign an 8-year deal now and then cash in again in 33? Ooh, I don't think I'd do that. I think I'm looking 4 to 5 years. And I'd want to sign so I can hit another one similar to Leon at 29. So I think that's a big part of this conversation. So if you go 8 years, you probably have to pay him more. If you go less, you can probably get him for less. just because of the term, right? You don't give as much cash. So
Interesting.
I'll hang up and listen to Brownie's answer.
um,
Mid-season form, guys. I'm ready. I'm ready to go here. I told you guys.
It would be. I mean, it would be tough if the Oilers said, "Here's $80 million for 8 years." It'd really be tough to turn that down because there is always the opportunity of injury. I mean, we've seen here a number one defenseman in Oscar Klefbom's career get cut short. So it'd be a shame if you turn down that much and all of a sudden you're done and you're thinking, oh, I could have had $80 million. As for penalty killing, I don't play him on the penalty kill. Not only minutes, but to me, that's one place you can get hurt as a defenseman because you're blocking out in front of the net. You're blocking shots. They got other players that could do that role. I mean, you brought in it was a Josh Brown. Here, you go stand in front of net, block shots like Desharnais did. I understand a bigger role for Evan Bouchard, but Evan Bouchard has turned into an elite defenseman. It's funny. We're talking to the Oilers right now. Make a play to save themselves money by offering $10 million a year.
I know.
But I think that's what Evan Bouchard. Just think if Evan Bouchard has a 25-goal season, I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility playing on the best power play in the world. Yeah, he could have 90 points. Now, all of a sudden, you know what? You're not giving me what I want. I want to go to arbitration. Guess what the arbitrator is going to say?
It's
pretty good case. Yeah, that's problematic to the Edmonton Oilers. So I think the Oilers right now there'd be some self-fives if they can somehow get Evan Bouchard signed long-term, and the number didn't start with a 10, it was something in the 9s. I think in a heartbeat the Oilers would do that. I just don't know if Evan Bouchard would.
Struds, is there a cautionary tale in the way things went with Darnell Nurse in that, they put off the long-term deal, and then Nurse had the big season right when the timing was perfect. The market went a little crazy and he ended up cashing in the way that he did. But I mean, sometimes you got to place a bet on a guy, right? Like you just kind of got to go, okay, he's a $10 million defenseman now. He's going to be for quite a while. Like just, get it done for as long as you can, as quick as you can here, and not really get into that, more bridging type territory.
Yeah, again, guys, I keep going back to the contract length. I think that's a worthy discussion. So it might be only shorter, so you might have to do it that way. But, other teams have placed bets on offensive defensemen, right? And that's what you do. Let's look around. Makar, Carlson,
the kid in Ottawa, Sanderson in Ottawa, got a long-term deal without doing anything yet.
Shabbat, I'm not sure that was probably the best deal, but I mean, I think he was a bit of a freedom fighter on that team. So there's been lots. It does happen. I look at Evan Bouchard, the way he moves the puck, it's elite. He's an elite passer. He has an elite shot. So are those two things going to leave him? I'm not sure. Unless there's an injury, I think he can still make those plays. So I don't. I'll stick with it. I go short with it. If I'm Evan, I get a shorter deal, just because I want to hit it again. I don't want to hit it when I'm 34. I want to hit it when I'm high 20s. So I'm banging away.
That's the difference, Struds, between superstars or guys that are on the verge and the rest of us. You and I, if we're offered a contract, you and I are taking the longest term possible.
1,000 years.
And most players in the National Hockey League are not betting on, okay, I'm going to get this one and then I get another big one. I would say 90% of the players in the National Hockey League are taking the longest term deal given to them because that's security, stability. But there are a few players in the National Hockey League that can bet on themselves. And Matthews did it in Toronto, and Evan Bouchard has the ability to do that here, is to bet on yourself to get that next big contract. Not many players are capable of doing that or would have the confidence to do that.
Rasmus Dahlin, 8x11, bit of a different scenario, based on their ages, was a 73-point defenseman. The other thing too, Struds, is that, another reason why you might want to go a little bit shorter and keep the powder dry for one more big deal. Like the salary cap's going up, right? And we know it's going up right now. He would be signing at a time where it's going up. But maybe it's going to go up more than people might think. And so if you kind of ride the wave over the next few years, I know it's capped. It can only go up so much, but still, with the way the finances of the league are working out, maybe we'll see some of these big guys want to do deals that are a little bit shorter because the cap is so thoroughly heading in the right direction.
If you want to maximize earning, NBA players have done that, right? The top guys, they take short deals, and because they see it jumping and jumping. Now, I don't think it's translated, as Brownie talked about, that quickly into the NHL, but it'll start to see it, because we've seen, like, how many times do we say McKinnon, Leon have left money on the table? Like, they've left on their previous deal. Now, I don't think a team, so this is my personal opinion. If you leave money, like the Leon contract, I don't think you have to pay that player back for what was left on the table, because you both agreed to it. No one was, they both agreed to it, but that money you're not getting back later. Now, Leon and McKinnon both got their money, and I'm happy for them. But, with Bouchard, I look at him, I have seen no reason for him to sign a contract before this year. I just don't, unless he gets exactly what he wants. And I don't know what he wants. Maybe he wants 10 million Shaugger. Maybe he wants 9.5. I don't know. But I'd feel comfortable if I am Bouchard, knowing that I have my two big guys, one signed, the other one's going to sign. And I'm going to be here playing this power play. There's going to be the same. And we actually added more features. Let's say one of those top 5 gets started in the power play. We can slip Skinner in. We can slip Arvidson. We can slip whoever in, right? Like, there's options there that weren't there last year, Brownie.
And one more thing, there's no one else coming up the pipeline that is going to do Bouchard's job. So it's not like if Bouchard, he outprices himself. Well, we got so-and-so down in the minors that we're really grooming to take this spot. So it's not like there's someone else that's capable of doing what Bouchard's doing. So that just adds to the the ammunition that Bouchard and his agent have. Like, well, if you don't have him, who you put out there? You don't. Bouchard is that important right now to the Edmonton Oilers.
Let's get to our YouTube stream, brought to you by our digital sponsor, Weiss Johnson Heating and Air Conditioning. The cold is coming, so it's time to get that garage heated up. My mother-in-law right now is working with Weiss Johnson to get a furnace installed in the old garage. Enjoy the luxury of a warm vehicle or heated man cave this winter. Installing a garage heater will also help if you have rooms over the garage that are always a little cooler. Visit Weiss-Johnson.com today.
Weiss Johnson, whoa.
My man cave is going to be heated this winter thanks to Weiss Johnson. Got the heater in a couple years ago. It's going to keep the golf simulator nice and toasty warm this summer, guys, so I can work on that butter swing. So thank you to Weiss Johnson. Now, CK Pond makes the point, if Leon and Connor are taking less in the marketplace, Bouchard would be looked at to do the same. There was another similar comment from Calvin Bess. Is playing on the best power play and a good chance for the Stanley Cup, worth taking a little less for a longer term. There you go, Zuby. Thanks for bringing that in. I guess maybe that's Struds. It's not like Draisaitl did not take a big haircut, but he didn't squeeze every dollar out. I would expect it'll be similar with Connor McDavid. You look at Adam Henrique and the dollar figure that he came back for compared to what might have been out there. Like, it feels like guys are kind of understanding the idea that, hey, this isn't a place to necessarily grind every single dollar out of, because they're kind of trying to build something. Is that real? Should that even be in Bouchard's mind?
I think it's up to him. Everybody's individual. This will be the first big hit of Bouchard's career. Now, I know he's made, what is he making, $3.5 million or whatever right now? So it's not like he's, scraping by. He's got some pretty decent money there. And I've never really heard him talk about it. I don't know him at all. I don't really know what his sense would be. Again, if someone said to me, we're willing to offer you $10.5 million for 8 years, and I look around like, I think I'll take 10 for 8 years. Like, does it really make that much difference? Or like, I'll go 9.8, whatever the number is, like whatever, you know what I mean? Like, it's still a lot of cash. We're not talking a guy who's making 8.10 and asking him to take 7.20. You know what I mean? Like, it's so Brownie, I would like it to think he would do that. Like I said, I think Leon took probably what was, market pretty fair to market value, maybe a little lighter, but I don't know. I'm not expecting him to take a major drop.
Well, in all honesty, do we even know what Bouchard's high number is? So, like, how can you say, well, I'm going to take 10 because I could get 12? We have no idea what he would be worth on the open market. You're not going to see a haircut like we just saw with Sidney Crosby taking 8.7. I mean, you're not seeing that.
Yeah.
I mean, Sidney Crosby probably could have asked for, I don't know, 12 million, 13 million, 14, whatever he wanted. In reality, I mean, it's Sidney Crosby and he took 8.7. You're not going to see that with Bouchard or Connor McDavid or Leon Draisaitl. That's a unique situation that you saw with Sidney Crosby. So I'm guessing right now it's going to be $10 million a year is what Evan Bouchard finally gets, whether it's this year or next year. That's my guess of what he's going to sign for.
Guys, let me just drop this in there. I think Sidney Crosby, the day he retires, he'll get a 5% ownership position in the team for $1.
Yeah, probably right.
You think so, Struddy?
That's a lot of discount he's taking, man. He's taking a lot of discount.
Hang on a second, though. Like,
Is
what
it,
would have
though?
been? Well, okay,
He
it
scored
is.
40 goals last year.
No,
Last
I
10
understand.
years.
I understand, but what I'm saying is like, understanding his age and understanding the age he'll be at the end of another 2-year deal. Like I would have thought 10 and a half, 11-ish, somewhere in that range for his age and where he's at. I feel like that would have been not insane.
Well, at the age he is right now, he just scored 40 goals. His last 2 seasons have been 2 of his better seasons. He's getting better. So to me, he's worth $12-13 million this year alone. So I mean, to me, they saved about $4 million each. I wonder, and Struds, I don't know if you would know, but I don't know if the NHLPA would be really excited with Sidney Crosby's contract. They like making sure players get as much as they can possibly get, and I think we can agree that Sid didn't get as much as he's probably worth.
It just seems suspicious. Like I'm sorry, it's just too much, and I don't want to start a big thing here, but something's up. Something's up, guys. He's made $8.7 million for the last 10 years. I know he signed it a long time ago, but you're telling me he's only an $8.7 million player for that long? Like, does he get an ambassador job for $5 million for 10 years after he's done? Like, just watch, just remember this, and just look back and say he was on it that night. That night.
From Uncle Struddy. Uncle Struddy let you know.
Struddy. I hope Sid gets it. I hope, but I'm telling you, it's just suspicious.
So do I.
It's suspicious, guys. I'm sorry.
All right, it'll be interesting to see what happens here with Evan Bouchard as the year rolls on, and if we hear any rumblings about contract negotiations getting underway. All right, going to take a quick break here. When we come back, we'll dive a little bit more into Viktor Arvidsson. They're one of their newest top 6 wingers, what we expect, point projections. What kind of a game is he going to bring? That and plenty more, including brownie points, Struddy's World, Ask Us Anything, lots still ahead on the show.
With over 18 years in the industry, Kelly Zaretsky and her team at Blue Summit Accounting deliver client-focused solutions and financial guidance for success in a simple and comfortable way. Whether it's for corporate or personal needs, Blue Summit Accounting can help with taxes, estate planning, financial services, bookkeeping, and more. Get in touch today. Email bluesummitacct@gmail.com or call 780-416-9662.
So at Timberhouse, our guiding philosophy is naturally inspired living. We believe that through design, we can solve problems and enhance people's lives. We follow biophilic design principles in all of our builds to incorporate natural materials, natural light, to enhance all the spaces in a home. When you have your space perfectly reflect who you are and what you value, and it's made well, we think that that just leads to better living.
Yeah, something's up.
Oh, the conspiracy theories that we discuss in commercial breaks. Welcome back to the show, folks. Time now for takeaways, brought to you by Horizon Ag and Turf. What do you think of when I say green equipment? Well, John Deere, of course. A recent merge of Agland and Martin Deerline created the Horizon Ag and Turf Company, your local John Deere dealer. And while the name changed, it's the same fantastic products and people to serve you at their dealerships. Visit them online at horizonagturf.com. That's horizonagturf.com. What are you smirking at, Struddy? Hey?
Because I don't appreciate you calling my theories conspiracy theories. I believe them to be fact until they're proven otherwise.
Okay. All right. Yeah, even that's what conspiracy theorists think about their theories. They're just, to them, they're not just theories. By the way, Struds, we had a chance to go down to Horizon and check out the grounds there, all the equipment and stuff. We got a nice little tour around there from our newest sponsors. We got some impressive stuff down there at Horizon.
You know what? I didn't realize the scope. So they have the big pieces, right? The combines and all the massive piece of equipment, but then have the little things for the little guy, the little backyard warrior like yourself that gets in there and tries to, clip a few things like he's doing his toenails over the bush, all that type of stuff. And they have what I call, and I know they won't like this, it's called Stihl. That's the plant. That's the brand they have there of different like leaf blowers, snow blower, or well, I guess they're not just leaf blowers, but
you're mispronouncing
all that
that.
kind of
It's Stihl. It's not Stihl. It's Stihl.
It's Stihl. I double checked it on the interweb.
So Brownie, we went there and got a tour. Struddy almost left with a backpack leaf blower. Like he was close. They were talking to him. They were sweet talking him. I think he was trying to chisel the number down quite a bit. Yeah. But he's thinking about it, Struddy. You're going to swing back there.
I was trying to get.
I know that people that backpack blower 660 is the best unit ever. So he's clearly been down there.
I know the people that I hire to do my leaves, they all have those. So they do look really good and fun to use as I sit in my lazy boy and watch them do it. But
so
Struds, I may have Struds. Actually, if Struds, if you get one, I'll hire you.
I might, because Shaugger's parking both his cars on his driveway this year. It's supposed to be a really light snow year. So I thought I'd come over and do his yard too. I'll just do the whole tour.
Backyard what? Stihl, says Northern Farm Girl. Northern Farm Girl back with us again on the show again this year. The happiest viewer that we have. Thrilled to have Northern Farm Girl back. So Brownie, he almost left with like a manly backpack blower. You know what I left with? I got that. I left with that one. Hey, what do you think, boys?
It's all they can have.
That is pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. That's going right there. It's got a spot right on the shelf in the Adrenaline Diesel studio here, right below the. I got all sorts of model toys going on this year. Anyways, Brownie, you said you felt Viktor Arvidsson was the Kings' best player in that playoff series, and the Oilers went out and they got him. I did a little bit of digging kind of into his regular season play and his career totals and such. And what I'll say about playoff Arvidsson that the Oilers have seen, he's more physical in the postseason. Like his hit totals through the regular season are pretty sparse. He's not a guy that finishes a lot of checks. There's sort of that rambunctious nature. He had 7 hits that one game against the Oilers in the playoffs. But last 3 seasons, he's at 1.2 hits per 60, 56 in 161 games played. Now, you don't have to be throwing hits, and it's not always the best kept stats. But I just, during the regular season, maybe a little bit different, Struds than in the playoffs. But no question, a heck of a player and a guy that can contribute and get points in the top 6. But I'll be interested to see game in, game out during the regular season what it looks like.
Well, to me, you're not getting Arvidsson for the regular season. You're getting him for the playoffs. This is a team that's building itself for long playoff runs. Viktor Arvidsson, if he played like he did in the playoffs for 82 games, he wouldn't survive 82 games. He's a smaller player. He plays bigger in the playoffs. What I love about Arvidsson, and from what I've seen regular season and playoffs, he's got a tenacity about him. Doesn't always have to be physical, but he's got a tenacity. And when you play with Connor or Leon, and I believe he'll be Leon's line mate this year, when you got a tenacity on the offensive end and create turnovers, create second chances with Connor or Leon, now you're giving Leon and Connor a second chance in the offensive zone against a tired defensive core. I think he is going to be a fantastic fit for Leon Draisaitl. I think the excitement level is going to be through the roof for him. He's now playing with one of the elite players in the world. He's playing on an elite hockey team. I love the signing. And again, he does not have to have 6-7 hits a game in the regular season. But what we have seen and what you love about him is he elevates his game come playoff time. And not all players do that, but he does. And that's going to make the Edmonton Oilers that much more effective for a long playoff run because now they're going to have 2 elite scoring lines.
Yeah, highly competitive player with a big motor, right? And so motor means he's constantly going. He's constantly going at the other team. And what I've noticed about Arvidson over the years is how heavy his stick is. So that's not literally, for those of you that, not sure about that means. It means that you're strong on your stick, and when you have a puck on your stick, it's really hard to knock off. Think of Leon, think of Hyman. I mean, Connor's just, obviously Connor's probably another guy, but it's hard for a D-man to fight against that, because every time you go to get the puck from him, it's going to be really hard. He is a perfect line mate for Leon. And you know what, guys? I think we might see him with Connor sometimes. I really do. I really do think that we might see that mixed up at times. So I wouldn't lock him in just there. He's obviously locked in the top 6, but I think there'll be times where we're with Connor.
Interesting. The other thing I think is he's going to get some PP1 time, guys. I think we could see him swapping in and out with Zach Hyman a little bit.
Nope, I disagree.
Whew, that's too.
I don't think you're going to take the guy that scored 54 goals off of your first power play unit. He is elite in front of the net. I like Viktor Arvidsson. He's going to get minimal power play time because the second unit gets minimal power play time as a group. There's zero chance you're taking Zach Hyman off the first unit after he scored 50-some goals on the best power play in the National Hockey League. But I appreciate your candor and your guessing there, Ryan.
We'll see. Somebody mark this down. I think we might see it, Brownie. I have a hunch
I'm marking it right now.
See.
Well, okay, yeah. I'll put
Wouldn't surprise me.
A minute 25 into the power play, they'll pull Hyman off and put Arvidsson out with Connor and Leon. I will give you that.
Swap halfway kind of thing. Maybe.
Yeah, but when you say swap, and I'm thinking you're going to start Arvidsson on the power play ahead of Zach Hyman at any point ever. No.
Struds?
Jason?
I have a hard time changing that power play. Now, I am talking about changing the first line, but I think it's just because they want to, you never know with injuries, you never know what looks in the playoffs. You want to switch that up a bit. I don't think he starts there, but I think he does move around. But as far as the power play, I think this will be a challenge for Knobloch this year, is managing power play minutes for Skinner and Knobloch. Skinner and Arvidson. Not Knobloch.
Knobloch's going to start playing himself.
He might be easier if he does. You might have to play center on that second unit. How do you get those guys power play time? They're used to power play time, and quite frankly, they probably deserve it. The problem is on this team, you're everyone's second dish, right? Everyone's a second. So I don't know how you figure this out. Because who's the third player on that second power play unit?
Well, it could be Henrik. It could be Kane if he's healthy.
Yeah, Henrik. That's it.
But here's why, Shaugger, I don't think there's any chance of it happening. They could have looked for ice time last year for Evander Kane by throwing him out on the first unit, and justifiable. I mean, this is a guy that is a pure goal scorer in the National Hockey League, that is a big, heavy body that could stand in front of the net. And there wasn't even the thought of putting him out on the first unit and taking Hyman off. Like, even when they a minute 10 into a power play, nope, we're not changing that unit. We're leaving them all out there. So if they weren't trying to find ice time for Evander Kane, he is much more effective in front of the net where Hyman is than a Viktor Arvidsson would be. So to me, there's zero chance that they're going to mess with that first unit until a minute 30 into the power play, when they might do something at that point.
Yeah. So, and we'll see how it goes. Whether Hyman starts them all and then they make that switch, halfway through after a couple of clears, maybe it could be something along those lines. I just wouldn't be surprised if there was a concerted effort to get Arvidsson a little bit of sugar time, in particular with that top unit.
Yeah, I agree with this one.
Why him over Skinner?
Skinner's a better goal scorer.
Yeah, but I think that Skinner is not the net front player. Like, if you're going to put Skinner in, then you got to pull Nuge, and I would not pull Nuge for Skinner.
But why should Arvidsson get it over Skinner? Like, what's you got Arvidsson for 2 years?
Because he would play more of the role that Hyman plays.
I know. No,
like,
I'm not
swapping Hyman out for Arvidsson makes sense.
No, I know. I'm not saying, but you could take Skinner out for Hyman or for Nuge. Right? Like, I'm not saying put him in front of the net. I'm saying why, just in general, why would you put him in there before Skinner? I think Skinner deserves the same amount of power play time as Arvidsson.
Because I think that they would be way more apt to swap Hyman out than Nugent Hopkins, because Nugent Hopkins is critical on the entries and for being so sure-handed on the wall. every single, well, I bet 70, 80% of the Oilers' entries flow through at some point a sure-handed, solid play from Nugent Hopkins. I think he's a fixture there. I think if they were making any adjustments on the top power play unit, it would be to swap Hyman out with somebody that, and a similar type player, which Arvidson is.
Well, but they had Evander Kane, and they didn't. Evander Kane's more like Hyman than Arvidsson is, and there was no thought of putting Evander Kane in front.
Yeah, Arvidsson's different than Kane. I mean, it's. We'll see. You know what? We'll see.
Yeah, I to me, there's zero chance that Arvidsson will ever start a power play unless there's an injury. Hyman, I mean, you got the best power play in the world, and you got a guy that scored over 50 goals.
But starting
you
a
do
power
not take
play,
Zach Hyman off.
I'm not saying he goes out the first rep with power play 1, but there were a lot of nights where Zach Hyman was staying out deep into power plays 2, and that unit was just 5 men for 2 minutes straight, basically.
Yep,
I could
100%.
see a scenario where Hyman doesn't do that with the rest of the group, where there's a flip-flop there, keeping those guys
I understand
fresh.
that, but why do you think Arvidsson and not Kane? Like for the last year, like Kane, they needed ice time for Kane.
Yeah.
Kane is built to stand in front of the net, and they never ever thought of taking Hyman out for that. So why would you think Arvidsson would be more deserving than Kane? Kane's a much bigger body in front of the net.
Let me throw this at you.
That's just my thought on that.
No, fair points, Brownie.
I think they're going to play 2 power play units this year to give the guys rest, so they have some juice later in the season. I truly feel
they should.
I think they need.
They should. I don't think they will.
I know, but I think that's if you want to get Arvidsson some ice time, I think on the power play, which I think he needs, it's a minute. There's a whistle, boom, we're out, and you guys are in because you're trying to take the.
Oh, you're so cute when you say that. They're gonna. Connor and Lee are gonna come off after a minute. That's cute.
You know what I do? I start shaking the handle on the door to let him know it's time to change. Leon just looks over at me like this. I'm like shaking the handle. Shaking it.
Well, that's when you go stand on the other side of the ice if you're the power play guy. You're kind of looking. You don't look at the bench. Don't look at the bench.
I couldn't hear you.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear you. Shake it. Pickard, slam the door. Shake the noodle or whatever. Shake it, Pickard.
You used to look up at the like when the puck gets cleared, Brownie. You look up at the clock instead of at the bench. Like, is that kind of a
100%
maneuver?
And then you're looking anywhere but the bench. And I played for Ken Hitchcock. I could hear Hitch screaming, "I don't hear you, Hitch. Nope. What's that over there?" Not a chance am I coming off the ice.
Obelisk 21 says, "I think Hyman's harder to move in the crease than Arvidsson. Makes a much better screen. He was amazing on the power play. I mean, this is no slight on Hyman at all. I'm just thinking, looking ahead to this season, if they're wanting to mix some other guys in, maybe that's a possibility. I think there's a chance we might see it. What else we got here? There was another good one. Somebody suggested that if I am right, Brownie needs to shovel my driveway for the winter, which I definitely like the sounds of that.
Well, there's not much to shovel. It's covered by cars.
There it is, Calvin Bess. If Shaugger's right, Brownie has to shovel the snow at Shaugger's. Although maybe I'll have a backpack, a steel backpack blower, courtesy our friends at Horizon Ag and Turf. And this was Takeaways brought to you by Horizon Ag and Turf. Before we go to our second break, Zuby, should we do the YouTube poll right here? Because I think we want your opinion on the stream. How many points is Arvidsson going to get this season? Let's get to our YouTube stream brought to you by our good friends over at DeBoer's, the YouTube poll. Helping you play better golf since 1999 with their TrackMan fitting bays, instruction, after-sales support, golf merchandising, and clothing as well. Go down and check out their pro shop style atmosphere, 5311 99th Street here in Edmonton. Zuby, what do you got for the people to vote on, buddy?
Yeah, let's see how I phrased it tonight. The official YouTube poll question is, how many points are you expecting from Viktor Arvidsson this season? The options we got 10 to 30, 31 to 50, 51 to 70, or 71 plus.
Ooh, that would be into career
That's
highs.
a pretty big
It would be, but I figured it was better. But I was more likely to go there than 0 to 10. So
Well, it's going to be on the power
why not,
play.
man?
I'm gonna go 55. I think he's gonna get 55 points. I think he's gonna have 20 plus goals, 55 points.
I like that number.
Struds? Since he's on the first unit power play, Struds, how many are you giving him?
300 points. No, just kidding. So I think the challenge here is for him is going to be health. So factoring health in, you look at Evander Kane last year, he had 77 games, 44 points. History would suggest that Arvidson's probably not going to play a full season. So for that reason, I'm going to have him below 50 because even Nuge last year only had 67 points. So I'm going to put Arvidsson, and that was full power play time. So I'm going high,
And playing with Connor.
high 40s. And now I hope I'm wrong, but that's kind of my reasoning, guys. So high 40s. For
So
the big man.
when we talk about projecting a player's season, should there not just kind of be this understanding that, you know, he's going to play close to a full year? Like, is it kind of bad karma or weird or to like predict injuries when you're talking about a guy, when you're prognosticating his season?
I don't know.
I agree. I was going off the full season thinking that they're going to stay healthy, but old Black Cloud Strudwick over there, he's going, there's going to be injury. Arvidsson's already out.
Look at his game.
Slep rock over there.
This is what, 58, 57, 50, 66. Then he was 77, right? He hit that 59-point plateau a couple seasons ago, Struds, when he was healthy, but then, you know, obviously held to 18 last year. So fair point by you. If he were to play a full season, Struds, you think he's in that 60-point range then?
I think 50 to 60. Yeah. If Nuge is getting 67 points with everything he gets
on the first unit.
Yeah. I just don't see him being above him. So I have him, if a full season 50 to 60, I think he's high 40s.
Yeah. Okay.
20
and
goals,
Zuby,
20 goals.
Yep. I like 20 goals too.
We'll update that poll. Remind me at the end of the show, Zuby, because I forgot last time to update
So did I.
before we
I
wrapped
should do
up.
it in Ask Us Anything. I've got the mic.
It just
the least I could do is remember to do the poll.
Disappeared into the ether. I'll go 57 points will be my call.
Before we go to break too, I just want to say we're live on Instagram tonight as well with we have a bunch of different feeds going. However, I guess I didn't set the aspect ratio to have us in 16:9. So if you can picture what people on Instagram are seeing of our show in 9:16, which is all Brownie all the time. That's all on Instagram tonight.
So are you serious?
Yeah, I think so. It's hard.
Looking broadcast ever.
And me for this moment.
Time
anyway.
I got star billing.
And we've had, and there's been some activity. There has been people on and off of that stream all night. It's been,
Nice.
it's
Where
been
else
active,
are we live,
so.
buddy? You've been knocking it out of the park. You got us live all over the down. Where are we on Switch or
On
Twitch?
well, we're on Twitch. Yes, we are technically
Twitch?
on Twitch. Yes, I don't know if anyone's watching on Twitch, but we haven't promoted that particularly yet.
Right.
So
We're everywhere.
We're on Twitch. We're on Twitter. We're getting the comments. We had an Instagram comment. It's working. So I've had an Instagram comment. It comes in here. The comments from X. Everybody's coming in. Oh, there's somebody right there on from Instagram said best looking got your back anyway. Brownie.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Mom. I thank you for that.
Yeah, that's
All
from
right, good stuff.
Straight and Level.
Time for break. When we come back, everybody's favorite segments back to back. Struddy's World and Brownie Points. So tons more ahead on the show. You're watching and listening to Got Your Back, presented by Play Alberta.
Ready to go all in this season? Mr. Dirk's got you covered with express on-site tailoring, a wide selection of craftsman-made suits, sport coats, and casual staples for every occasion. Score big with Mr. Dirk. We've always got your back. Visit us off White Ave, south of 102nd Street, or browse online at mrdirk.com.
At Gallery Dental, we believe in blending exceptional care with artistry to create the perfect smile for you. From routine cleanings to advanced cosmetic procedures, our team is dedicated to providing top-notch care in a relaxed and comfortable environment. With state-of-the-art technology and a passion for perfection, we ensure that every visit is a positive experience. Join the Gallery Dental family and let us help you achieve a smile that you'll love to show off. Contact us today at secolandentistry.com.
Specializing in heavy-duty commercial truck powertrain repair, performance, tuning, and part sales, Adrenaline Diesel's professional team is ready to assist you with all of your needs, from the simplest oil changes to engine conversions, overhauls, and engine modifications. Featuring an all-new online parts store and machine shop to manufacture, replicate, or repair parts, visit adrenalinediesel.ca.
All right, time now for Brownie Points, brought to you by Hamel's Premium Jerky, the Alberta-based family-owned business, opened in 1962. Their beef jerky, fantastic. Did you know their sweet and spicy jerky was sent to the International Space Station in 2009? Yep, absolutely out of this world. We had a chance to go meet the crew down at Hamel's in Cold Lake over the summer, and it was awesome. Hop on to albertajerky.com to order yours and enter the code GOTYOURBACK for 10% off. That's albertajerky.com. Truly fantastic stuff.
Shaugger,
Brownie,
what did the guys think of your True Religion jeans? Did they like them?
Oh. Did I have bad jeans on that day? Are you sure for my jeans?
Can
Were
we
they
put
bad?
the picture back up?
Can you bring the pictures, Judy? Were they bad? Wait a second.
I have to run the whole thing again, but we can hold it at the end.
Look at this.
Were they bad? Were they too baggy, Struds? I'm not taking fashion chirps from you. Hang on. Where are they?
Oh, I couldn't get my eyes. I can't concentrate. Look at these jeans.
What?
Front.
There is
There's a
nothing
lot
wrong
going
with
on.
those.
Oh, you got
There's-
the front fade going in there.
Yeah,
Look at
front
that, the
fade.
front fade.
But there's
Looking
a patch
nice.
front fade. Then there's horizontal fades going across the top of them. Like, are those home brews? Did you do them yourselves in a bucket?
That was one of those shopping days where I was feeling old, and I'm like, I need to young up my wardrobe a little bit. By the way, guys, I found our stream. on Instagram, and this is it. All you see is Rob Brown.
I love it. I love
Look
it.
at this.
That
Yeah,
is
nice job,
so
Zuby.
good. I think we should start promoting that. I think that's I like it. About time. Star billing. Took 1 year and 2 episodes. Finally got what I wanted. All right, brownie points. Number 1, I have 1 brownie point for the number of media personalities not invited today to the Oilers Media Golf Tournament. Jason Strudwick, the only media personality not at the tournament today. St. Albert Gazette, their beat reporter, was at the media tournament today. Jason Strudwick was
Where
not.
were
We
you?
hope Shaugger and I can get you into it next year. Where were you today?
I only had 4 ice times I was coaching kids. So I was either eat fast with you or coach the next generation of Evan Bouchards.
There's a lot of off the glass and outs today with Jason Strudwick. 75 brownie points to the Hockey Hall of Famer, the age of Jim Matheson, who was on the winning team today
Yes.
at the Oilers Media Golf Tourney. Congratulations to the Hockey Hall of Famer, Mr. Matheson. 3, the magic number of Ched post games that I'll be doing this year till somebody calls in and bitches about Darnell Nurse's contract. So I have 3 brownie points for that. 6 brownie points as the probable handicap of Oiler GM Stan Bowman. I got to golf with Stan Bowman today.
Wow.
6 might be high. He is a very good golfer. He carried our team. I had to play with him, Jeff Jackson, and media personality Mark Spector. Stan Bowman carried our team to victory. And then as I stood up after they announced our team won, Jeff Jackson said, you know what? We're just going to give the prizes back. We don't want to win the tournament
Okay,
without
hang on.
consultation with me.
Hang on.
What?
Pause brownie points. This
Whoa.
is what happened, Struds. It was a shamble today. Like a scramble where you hit like you take the best drive and then play your own ball the rest of the way. Right? These guys played a straight scramble and won the tournament because they were like,
Yes,
they
we
played
did.
the wrong
Yes.
rules.
It was the rules that we were given.
Played the wrong rules.
You know-
They cheated and won their own
No,
tournament.
no. We, just like Vegas, found a way to get Mark Stone and Thomas Hertel last year into the playoffs. You play the rules that you were given. And we played the rules and won the tournament fair and almost square. But as good gentlemen as
Jeff was
we gave the
he did the right thing, and they refused to take their winnings. So Maddie won it.
So Maddie won. And finally, number 1 brownie point to the big 2-9er, because we only had 1 hunting story today from Louis DeBrusque.
Oh, yeah. I golf with Louis today.
I only got 1 from him today. I love Louis DeBrusque. He's one of my favorites. So I only got 1 hunting story out of him today, so he gets 1 brownie point.
Give it a week or so, Brownie, because Big Lou is about to head into the bush for like a
I
week
know.
straight with like 10 friends. We're going to hear nothing but hunting stories. for the next month or
That
so.
was the one story I got. He was setting me up for what we're going to hear the next time we see him.
Right on. Brownie points brought to you by Hamel's Premium Jerky. All right, folks. Time now for Struddy's World.
When you make a mistake, heads should roll. It's not right. And I'm here. Someone has to put their foot down. Now that I say it out loud, it does sound a little crazy. God, I look good.
All right, time now for Struddy's World, brought to you by one of our newest partners. We're stoked to have Timber House Developments on board, where if you can dream it, they can build it for you. A truly customized building experience. Want a living room that doubles as a dance floor? They can figure that out for you. Want an office that has a slide in it? They can do that for you too. This is the thing about these guys. You go in, you sit down, you have the design meeting. None of their houses are the same. They're all different, and they customize it for your lifestyle. Struddy, we met with the crew at Timber House. Did you do the same thing I did, Struds? Because, Brownie, you sit with these guys, and they talk about designing homes, and they're so passionate about it. They consider every tiny little detail, from the way the sun comes through the window and hits the stairs and reflects off the fridge, and the way it makes you feel. And, like, Struddy, I got home to my house after, and I was like, I need Timber House to come in and rebuild this thing for me. They're so passionate about it.
Yeah,
I need a new
they're
house
passionate
too.
about design.
I need a new house. I got 1 year. I need a new house. So, can
Are
you
you seriously?
chat with
You're
him?
building a
I'm
new
getting a new
house?
house. The Brown family is moving. It's
Wow.
1 year. We're moving somewhere.
Well,
Just don't know where
I'll
yet.
hook you up with Donnie. I tell you, buddy, that's infectious. Like and if you can check out the website, it's awesome. There's really cool designs in their houses. Really work with different lighting and they really put a lot of thought into it. It's super high quality stuff, and it's a great group over there. The other cool thing, Struds, while you're building with them, you know how some builders are like, stay away, away. We'll see you when it's ready. Nope. Open door policy. Go to the job site anytime you want. Go have coffee with Don and the crew at the head office. They make great coffee. Like Struds, it's a good feeling down there.
It is. And along those lines that, you're welcome anytime. Brownie, south side of Edmonton, we don't want you. Right. So just, I'm speaking as, maybe the leader. Don't come here. We'll find you another house.
Dan Grasser says, heads up, Struddy will sell your house on Facebook Marketplace without you knowing it, Struddy.
You know what?
Brownie.
Give me a chance. Give me 1 week. Give me a week, Brownie. I'll have that thing sold.
Okay, before you get into Struddy's World, have you sold the shelves yet?
Struddy's points.
No, I have a lady that in the North Edmonton, and we were trying to hook up to make this deal react. She's willing to pay top dollar, $30 and a hug. I think I got to give her a hug, but that's okay. It's worth it.
All right, time for Struddy's World. What do you got, big guy?
Yeah. So you know what, guys, it's always fun. The podcast's been building, and we, people stop. I know all three of us get stopped often to say, hey, we love the show and all that. Well, Shaugger got the hats made up, right? And obviously, the cool people are wearing visors. There are other people wearing full hats. But today, after one of my many skating sessions, I went to get a drink at a convenience store. I come walking out. There's a guy wearing a got your back hat with the fist.
Come on.
Yes. I was like, oh my God, I was so happy. I haven't seen anyone other than myself and my family members wearing it. So I'm like, hey man, nice hat. And he kind of gives me the old, yeah, great. Kind of blows me off. I'm like, are you kidding me? He didn't recognize me. Like, is it that hard? Do I look that much different in real life? Sure, I might look a little more curvy on TV and all that stuff. So not an hour later, I get this tweet from Warren. W. Clark 11 says, took me a second to realize the guy commenting on my got your back hat at a random convenience store was Jason Strudwick. Hashtag, what a beauty. And I got to tell you, it was very humbling. So Warren, thank you for wearing the hat, but you don't even recognize the guy who was there. I said, hey, nice hat.
But I mean, you've been through this before,
thanks.
Struds. I remember when they didn't let you in Rexall Place.
Yeah.
The year
It's
after
probably
you
the same
retired.
guy.
So
Same
it's
guy.
not the
He's
first
a security
time.
guard.
Your Struds, like on the podcast here, the camera's a set back a little bit. The aspect ratio, it's kind of favorable for you. I do have to say, like, you in person, you're kind of overwhelming. Like, you are, it's a lot seeing you in person. It's just like, it's kind of this barrel chest, these baggy clothes, this forehead. I mean, I can't talk. I got every bit the forehead you do. But I'm not surprised people don't recognize you in person because you are, it's just a lot to take in seeing you in person.
But can you explain the pixel thing again? The pixel, why
the aspect rate, it's just its
Struds?
favorite. Yeah. Like, yeah, Struds has like the Barbara Walters filter on, and like he's just the camera. The camera helps him. The camera helps.
Skincare routine. You might want to jump on there. I'll tell you, you're looking a little weathered over there. But in all honesty, and I'm not even trying to. I'm not hurt, Warren. My feelings aren't hurt, but I can't believe when someone comments on it and says, "Hey, man, nice hat," and I'm looking you right in the eye. The voice, my voice is unique. It's squeaky. It's like someone, it's a weird voice. And you're telling me you didn't recognize it, but Warren did get it. So thank you for wearing it, Warren. I hope that we get to meet when I'm buying a drink at that convenience store again in Millwoods.
Calvin Best says maybe he's only watched on Instagram. The only one he knows is Brownie. There's Brownie again. There's our Instagram feed. Looking great. Nice work, Zuby. Nice work on Instagram.
Way to go, Zuby. I'll checks in the mail.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah.
All right, that was Struddy's World, brought to you by Timber House Developments. Brownie, this is where you get to say goodbye. But you know what's really funny? Here's the thing. We don't have another commercial break. So there's no way for Chris to get rid of you.
I don't know how to
get off the pod.
I don't know how to make it go away. Like, there's no buttons. Like, the other thing had buttons.
My God.
Wait a sec.
Well, you can hang around if you want. We're going to do Ask Us Anything here. So, I mean, it's totally up to you. But this is hysterical.
It looks like a horse's hoof trying to dial a phone number.
Just
like
swatting. It's swatting
painful.
at it. Time now for Ask Us Anything. There he goes. Good riddance. Brought to you by BJ Electric Supplies. Talking about new sponsors that we're super pumped to have on board. BJ Electric Supplies, an Edmonton-based independent electric wholesaler offering a wide range of products from lighting and lighting controls, wiring accessories, control and hazardous products. If you name it, chances are BJ Electric will supply it for you, serving electrical contractors working in Alberta's oil and gas, commercial, residential, and OEM sectors. Check them out at bjelectric.ca. And a huge welcome from Got Your Back to our good friends over at BJ Electric Supplies. Zuby, you are in charge of the YouTube stream. What do you got for us, buddy? By the way, now this is the podcast now. This is the most airtime.
Oh, my goodness.
On Instagram. It is Zuby all the time.
That is going to be a lot of people turning off their, continuing to doom scroll past me in their Instagram. Okay. So here's a suggestion that there's going to get a lot of talk about this. Ozzy says smartest plays try to get Bouch to match Nurse's contract. That's obviously going to be talked about. That's where I think it seems like Bouch's number has got to be higher, right? If that comparison comes up at all, would you agree?
Yeah, well, it would be a really good idea of me to get you to do this show for the same amount of money that Struds does it for, but we all know that's just not gonna be reality, right? Yeah. So you can wish that, but it's not. He's gonna eclipse Darnell Nurse, probably reasonably significantly. And I don't think that there's not going to be any synergy there between the Nurse deal and the Bouchard deal, Struddy.
Yeah, I don't think it's a spot to start from. Like you look at the point totals are incredible, right? And not just in the regular season, which I think makes it even more impressive. So yeah,
the Oilers might want to start there.
Of course.
That might be where the Oilers want to start.
They'd like to start at Cody Cece's number too, but it's not going to happen. Like I think I said it earlier, I'll say it again. I really think that Bouchard's in a great position here. Great position.
Okay, CK Pawn said Arvidson provides a feisty and chippy game that McLeod or Fogle couldn't provide. I haven't heard a ton of talk about, but there is the Arvidson for Fogle. Essentially a trade, right? I mean, they were free agents, but that was the move that was made. So how much more How big of an improvement is that? It seems
Okay.
like it's a given that it's an improvement, but how big,
Well,
Struddy?
okay. Well, let's talk about the negatives: the speed and the size. Right? Fogel had speed and size. There's no doubt we can't. He was, and so did McLeod. I think he's bigger than Arvidsson and faster. I think what Arvidsson brings is a little bit more making plays. He's going to make more plays kind of below the top of the circles. And that, I believe, is what Leon and Connor like. Yeah, they want to get up on the rush, but once you get in the playoffs, they want to do that bump and grind, right? That's not unskilled. That's still a very skilled thing. Don't get me wrong. We're not talking about grinding it out, but you got to be able to play that half court offense. So I think that's what makes Leon and Connor so excited about having him in there, as opposed to what Fogel brought.
Well, and I think for Warren Fogle, the idea of being a top six forward always felt like a bit of a stretch, Struds.
Okay.
Like, yeah, he could play that way for stretches of 4 or 5 games here and there.
Yeah.
Arvidsson's a top six forward. I mean, he has been for quite a while, and he understands that role. But I completely agree with your point. Playmaking in the offensive zone, better hands, there'll be an upgrade there for sure.
Okay, Brian Jackson mentioned this, and a couple of other people brought it up. Any thoughts on who might replace Brad Holland? Chris R. also chimed in and just kind of wondered if there was any more information on Brad Holland's departure.
Yeah. So organization putting out a release earlier today. They've mutually decided to part ways with Brad Holland. Brad did a lot with the organization, some scouting, obviously was part of their management structure, saw him around a lot. So he's moving on. I don't know what they'll do. I mean, they just made a bunch of hires. They just spent a good chunk of the owner's money with development in mind, Struds. 3 hires, all with scouting and development in mind. They're pretty well equipped management-wise between Jeff Jackson, Stan Bowman, Bill Scott, still very much in the mix. Keith Gretzky is there. When you just talk about sort of that lead management group, I'm not sure that they would feel they need to add another body, Struds, but that seems to be the formula, right? General manager, couple of assistant GMs, and a president.
I think Jeff Jackson and Stan Bowman will take time to identify what, if anything, is needed specifically. Like, this is just bring your buddy to work day, right? They need to find whatever they need. Like those 3 targeted hirings you talked about, I love those, because I think they have to find players in Europe and develop them in Europe. This is unfair, but diamonds in the rough, right? Someone that is out of nowhere, a 5th rounder comes over and plays from, or a free agent signing from there, then come over and play. So I really like those moves by the owners to spread things out and to get more of a footprint in different places that maybe they haven't had a lot of previously.
And they might have some other people internally that can take on a little bit more, right? Warren Reichel's part of things here. And, they've got a few other people that have a lot of experience. So we'll see if it's an actual hire replacement or if they kind of spread it around a little bit.
This is going back to the Evan Bouchard discussion. Some stranger saying, get it done before someone offer sheets him. That's got to be now pretty fresh in the Oilers' mind as a motivation now, right? To do an extension during the season.
It would be
among other things, but
yeah. So I think they couldn't be able to do it till next summer, right? When he doesn't have a contract, but also
correct. Yeah.
Like off the top of my head, I don't know what it is, but it would be a ton of first rounders. Like that would be a massive, massive move. That would lose the appeal that St. Louis had with where the numbers they were able to get to.
Yeah. And I think a lot of teams too would look at it and say, you look at Evan Bouchard, he's a great fit with the Edmonton Oilers. Like he is. He's a great fit on the power play. He's a great fit with Matthias Ekholm. But I think for other teams, you might look at it and say, okay, who's he going to be playing with, right? It's not going to be Matthias Ekholm. What power play is he going to be running, right? It's probably not going to have McDavid and Draisaitl on it. Bouchard definitely benefits from the people that are around him, and they definitely help push his numbers for sure. I mean, that's just a given. He's got incredible quality of players around him. So for other teams, Struds, maybe there's just a little bit of an unknown about what level does this player hit in our organization? Because you look at the level he hits in the Oilers organization, and it's impressive and worth every penny. But I think teams, would say to themselves, I wonder what level he hits in our organization. Is that fair?
It is. I mean, he's still pretty young, right? He's 24 years old. And you're right. He won't have Ekholm forever. At some point, he'll have to become a leader of a pairing, right? I think that, and I guess in some ways he has, but I think Ekholm is still there with him. I mean, I would be very interested in getting Bouchard on my team. I'm not going to lie. He moves the puck and shoots it really well. But I mean, I go back to that offer sheet would be absolutely massive, the cost. And I'm trying to find it here on the fly, but the compensation would be massive.
Yeah, 100%. Zuby, one or two more because we got Relentless Player and Player of the Day left that we got to get to, buddy.
Okay, yeah, a couple of quick comments that I just wanted to include from, this is our first comment from the Twitch stream. Hey there anyways, says, pretty cool you're on Twitch as well there, Zuby. Nice work all around on the platform. So someone's watching us on Twitch and the comments are coming through. Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
I love it, buddy, and I got nothing but love and credit for you, but I love the fact that you picked one that was like, way to go, Zuby.
Well,
I think that's great.
That's what he just happened to say.
Yeah, no, I mean, the only one choice of anyone on the stream, and you picked that one, so good on you.
It was the only one from Twitch. One more kind of actual hockey, one quick one, and then you know what? Let's go to these. I got two kind of for fun before we move on. This is just a good suggestion. Calvin Bess on the Crosby thing saying, Struddy, did you sign for a low salary and get a 10% stake of the Got Your Back empire when you retire? That would be a good idea. Okay, sorry.
I'll
go
do
ahead.
the same thing Sidney Crosby does whatever he gets when he retires. I expect the same treatment from Got Your Back.
But here's the problem, Struddy. The minute you retire from this podcast, it ain't worth nothing anymore. So 10% of SFA, nothing.
I'll take it. I'll take that much.
Okay, last one. This is from Maple Syrup Skidmark. Just wondering how to handle the new apprentice plumber we hired at my company. He's a diehard Leafs fan and informed me at the meeting this morning that they're going to win the cup. Struddy, my Maple Syrup Mark looking for some advice here.
So I would suggest is you encourage him. And tell him that he's right. The team looks good. They've made all the right signings. Then when they get knocked out, most likely the second round of the playoffs, you just say, how does that feel? And you just juice them the whole time. Because I love seeing Leafs fans suffer. I love it. And I've seen nothing to make me believe it'll change. But I'm very interested to see what Craig Berube can do. That's going to be, how will we challenge those players in a different way? I think that's going to be really, really interesting.
Right on. That was Ask Us Anything, brought to you by our good friends over at BJ Electric Supplies. Time for our Relentless Player, brought to you by UCAN Youth Services. Are you looking to hire entry-level staff for your company? UCAN Youth Services trains youth in pre-employment skills to help get them ready, willing, and able to join your team. Check out www.ucan.ca for more information. Thrilled to have UCAN on as our charitable partner here on the podcast tonight. Struddy, who you got for Relentless Player of the Day, Person of the Day?
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of interesting things to look at. And I had a couple people in other sports lined up, maybe Shohei Ohtani and what he's doing. But I got to tell you, there's just one person that stood head and shoulders above them all. And those are your true religion jeans you wore in that picture. And I can't wait to see that every single time. Those things are relentless. They're screaming at me. They're screaming at me every time I look at it, and screaming at all of us saying, hey, I'm confident in who I am, and I'm going to wear these bad boys all the time.
I wish I would have got to some of the comments, though, because, Zuby, is it just me, or did I not have a lot of backing on the YouTube stream for my jeans? I wish I would have jumped on some of those comments. I feel like I had support for them.
I actually, I hate to say, I missed that. I wasn't paying attention for whatever reason at that point in time. But I'll say, I get what Struddy's saying. I don't think they're bad. I think Struddy's on fire tonight. He's letting you have it, but I don't think the jeans are that bad. But I enjoy the ribbing at the highest level.
Everybody just remember this, because Thursday when we do the next one, that picture will no longer be in it. Just watch. Okay.
Oh, hang on. I found some. Dan Double A said, Struddy is really selling this. They look stunning, Shoggy. Dan Grasser said, Struddy's jealous. McFo Seidel said, Shaugger looking like Phil Kessel in that pic.
What?
I'm not sure who that's a shot at.
A Northern Farm Girl had a bunch of jeans emojis and said, Ryan Jeans Day's very decent.
Northern Farm Girl gets the final word on all things fashion on this show. So if you gave my jeans the Relentless Player of the Day, I don't know what you're going to give the play of the day to, because we got to wrap the show up tonight. with our play of the day, brought to you by Gallery Dental. Take the first step toward a stress-free dental experience and see how the team at Gallery has your comfort and well-being as their top priority. Modern dentistry for today's patient with the most up-to-date dentistry, sedation, implants, and so much more. GalleryDentalYEG.com is the website address. Struddy?
I'm going to go with Warren. I walk out. He knew it was me. He didn't even acknowledge it was me. I mean, thank you for wearing the hat. Please keep representing. But I feel like next time I need a hug or something like that.
Yeah,
so,
that's unreal. I can only imagine the look on your face when you're like, "Hey man, nice hat." Like
I was
just
shocked.
stunned.
I was shocked. Like I'm like, I always am pretty friendly, but I'm like, hey man, nice hat. Nothing. Not, you can tell when someone recognized you, not a glimmer of recognition at all until I got the tweet. I was so happy later. So maybe he was playing with me. I don't know. Maybe he's messing with me. If he did, good job.
We need to get everybody out there doing that. Ignore Struds. Let's make it a thing. Just don't even acknowledge it.
Like when the rookie hits a home run and comes back to the dugout and everybody just sits on their hand. Yeah, no big deal.
No big deal. By the way, that is a good reminder to let people know you can actually buy our hats on our website, gybpod.com. You click on merchandise there. So we've got them on our website. You can check them out there. I got a nice new order in as well. I got some extra Zuby specials. Zuby, you got that orange and gray one?
Oh, man.
I got a couple novelties that maybe we can give away here on the show at some point. So
people,
we'll do that,
when I'm wearing that one, people are always, where can I get that one? They're always in the chat. So, yeah, maybe we should... that should be a charity auction or something.
I got 4 of them sitting right over there with a few other designs. So anyways, we'll do that another day. Nice job tonight, Zuby. Thanks, my friend. Struds, on fire as always, pal.
Thanks, guys. Looking forward to the year. Thank you, Zuby.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, that'll wrap up the show. Big thanks to all of you who joined us live on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Where else? Were we live on LinkedIn tonight?
MySpace. Definitely MySpace, and I think we were on some AOL chat rooms.
Amazing.
We're
thanks
everywhere.
to everybody that tuned in. And if you're listening in podcast form, thanks for your downloads and your subscriptions. By the way, I keep forgetting to tell people to pound that love button. Pound the like button when you're listening. Go leave us a review on iTunes as well, or Amazon, or wherever. That definitely helps us out too. We'll drop another pod, I think, on Thursday night. That'll be the first night that the Oilers are on the ice, so lots more to dissect then. This has been Got Your Back, presented by our proud title sponsor, Play Alberta. Talk to you soon, folks.